What up, what up? My name's Ryan. Welcome to the podcast that nobody asked for. In this episode, we're going to be talking a little bit about the pain of loss and the way that it can shape the direction of your life, etc., etc. It's going to be a bit of a darker episode, but it's because I'm going through a bit of a darker time. We do have some new audio equipment on the brighter side. We have a pop filter, and I'm actually using my PreSonus microphone as opposed to the microphone on my phone, so it's definitely going to be a little bit more of a professional recording, especially with this pop filter. I'll be able to do some sick AMR action, and I'll go ahead and save your guys' ears from that. But excuse me, if you guys ever want to hear some ASMR, then let me know, because I think it can be very beneficial for each of us. Anyway, I'm also going to be running the audio through a processor. It's equalization, compression, nothing too serious. Every episode is going to be better than the last. I'm never going to stop getting better. I listened to the first song that I ever made through, I believe it was Pro Tools, and then I listened to the most recent song I made on Ableton, and I just saw how far I came, and I realized, why would I ever stop, So, in this episode, since the last episode, right after my 21st birthday, I found out that a good childhood/teenagerhood friend of mine recently passed away due to COVID complications in his sleep. I'm not going to say his name out of respect, but anyone who knows me pretty much knows who I'm talking about. So, it's going to be a bit of a darker episode today, but I'm sure it's going to be something that everyone can relate to, just because, we've all experienced loss in one way or another, and we're all probably going to, so it's just best to be able to take the best from it and keep going and turn it into sort of creative energy, because that's all humans are. We're just creative energy, and all the experiences in our lives, they're just fuel for the creative energy that we need to get out. So without further ado, let's get into it. This gentleman was one of the most passionate people I've ever seen doing anything in my life. He used to just he was a rapper. He used to just go around the school rapping and going crazy, getting the whole school hyped. He used to just get a whole posse of him just by rapping by himself. He would just spit whatever was on his mind. He would just get into a flow. He would walk down the whole hallway of the school and back and just come back with twice as many people following him. And it was the craziest thing I've ever seen. And of course, I got to know him on a fairly personal level. I wish I got to know him better. I've known him since I was about a freshman in high school, and we've talked until a little bit before he passed away. You never know when the last time you're going to see someone is, so just try to be nice as possible to everyone, because life is hard enough as it is, and you want to try to make everyone's life a little bit easier. Maybe they'll make your life a little easier in return, but for me, he was someone who had a lot of family troubles and was moving around a lot, and as a result, he had a lot to express. He had a lot to talk about. He had a lot of lyrics. He was an amazing freestyler. He used to just stand on the field and get a whole crowd around him and stuff like that. And of course, something about life is sort of like a song. It has its highs and it has its lows. So the lowest someone goes, then the high is going to be even greater. So some people may want to, have these really extraordinary moments of their life where it's just awesome. Everything's awesome. But then eventually things are going to catch up and you're going to have those lows in your life. Just like imagine a sine wave. What comes up must go down. You have the rise and then you have the trough. So some people may just want to live their lives like sort of in the middle. It's just like a line wave. It's just silence. It's just moderation. Everything's normal. Everything is balanced, I guess. So some people would definitely prefer to live those kinds of lives, but this gentleman was definitely one of those people who lived life to the fullest extent that he could. He had very high highs, but he also had very low lows, and as a result, he had a lot of things to talk about. So he was always sort of the king of his own world, and he never stopped doing what he was doing until the day he died. So, number one thing I respect about him. The last time we spoke was actually through Instagram DMs. Unfortunately, I wish I was able to see him one last time because, he's been moving around a lot, especially because of his personal hardships. He was in he was in my area for the very last time in his life, and we were actually talking, saying that we were gonna hang out, sesh, just chill, make some music or something. We always had a rap song that we wanted to make, but that never ended up coming into fruition, unfortunately. Of course, we have freestyled together before and had really good moments, and I promise that we're gonna freestyle again someday. But for now, yeah, he gave me a lot of pointers, and when it came to creativity and really just getting a flow going, and he was just, he was a positive influence on everyone, including myself. Even though I didn't get to know him on a super personal level, it's clear that his influence came across a lot of people that he met. So, I hope that I had an influence on a lot of people that I met, just in case, anything ever happens to me tomorrow or something. So that's why it's always best to just be as nice as possible and really get to know everyone, and see how your life experiences can be used as advice for their lives, and just really try to be there for everyone. Yeah, we said we were gonna hang out. We never did. It is what it is. One of the last things he said to me was how proud he was of me doing the music technology program. And as a result, I'm gonna keep on working because, I forgot if I mentioned this earlier, but my very first Pro Tools song, I listened to that recently, and I realized how, amateur it sounded. And then I listened to my most recent Ableton track, and I just realized how far I came, and I realized if I stop now, then I'm never gonna get to where I want to be. So audio is my life, audio is his life, and audio is the lives of many other people, and I need to be able to show the world what I can do. So he showed the world what he could do, and he's made a positive influence on me, and I hope that I'm able to spread that positive influence even further. Everything I'm doing, like keeping on going for doing what I love, and keep on making music and keep on making audio for podcasts and keep on getting better every day. I'm doing it all for you. I'm also doing it all for my parents, who I want their lives to have some sort of meaning. I want them to watch their son get successful doing what he wants to do and live a happy life. So everything I'm doing is for you. Everything I'm doing is just for everyone who told me not to stop and to keep going. Everyone who's watching this right now, this podcast is mostly just going to be watched by some of my closer friends and stuff like that, at least for the time being. Hopefully one day when I have things really going and I have things really flowing, then these old podcast episodes will just be like relics, and people will watch them and see where I came from. But for now, I just got to keep going and keep getting better, and I'm never going to stop. So that's my message in this. So just never stop. Just spreading my friend's message that, just keep on spreading those positive vibes, keep making the world better, especially now. The world definitely needs it. I've been losing my breath a little bit in this podcast. Just need to take it easy. It's nice having this new little recording equipment, but, I gotta keep getting better. I gotta keep putting myself in the mindset that I got this. I'm great. Every musician / audio engineer has to love themselves at least a little bit to be able to keep doing what they're doing. So, you really never know when the last time you're gonna see someone is. I know he's up there watching over all of us. So we'll spit some bars again someday, my dude. I'm sorry if this podcast episode had a bit of a darker overtones, but I just really wanted to get this out of the way. It's kind of why I've been on a bit of a hiatus when it came to, it's definitely why I've been on a hiatus when it came to making videos, because I heard about this news and I really wanted to make a new episode, but I didn't really know where to start. I didn't know if it would be appropriate. Well, I'm just spreading a good message, I didn't really know what to say. But at the end of the day, this guy was one of the most passionate people I've ever met. He really did what he wanted to do until the day he died, and that's the best kind of life you could possibly live. And once you tell people, or once you let people tell you not to do the things you love anymore, then that's it. You've sold yourself, and you just gotta wait until your next life, I guess, to really be able to redeem that. The human soul is a really weird thing. Some people have such a strong passion to just keep on going and never letting anyone else tell them what to do that'll make him happy. Because this man, he didn't need much around him to make him happy. All he needed was himself and to be able to rap, and maybe a couple of friends with him, and maybe some weed and some beer. But that's definitely the best way to live life, to always just stick to what you're passionate in, not get too worked up over material objects and money and things like that. Just focus on family, who you surround yourself with, etc., etc. So yeah, I did meet this man. Actually, I met him on my bus to school, but we actually started talking in guitar class. In freshman year of high school, I went to this little guitar class, and I never really learned anything. They taught us some music theory, but never really taught us, the fundamentals of guitar, and we were always poking fun at that. We always just hung out because lunch was right after that guitar class, so we always hung out right after there. He introduced me to a lot of good friends, and he was definitely one of the vital people throughout my high school experience. So thank you for everything, my man. If you're listening to this podcast from the great beyond, and much respect to you, and God bless your family, and everyone out there who has recently or has just lost a loved one, or anything that's really changed their outlook on life or their direction on life, because these kinds of experiences really do affect your outlook on life. And life's always changing, life's always evolving. That's the nature of the universe, and at the end of the day, we're all one. He's still with me. A little bit of him lives on in me, so I'm just gonna go ahead and spread that to everyone who watches this. So if you guys watch this video, thank you very much for listening to my message and for watching my podcast sort of grow. And we're gonna get a whole bunch of more stuff going on. We're gonna have a better studio with acoustic foam all over the walls. It's gonna sound great. We're gonna get more guests on the show. We're gonna be talking about music. We're gonna be talking about astrophysics, health, life. We're just gonna talk about whatever, because at the end of the day, nobody asked for this. Thank you guys for tuning in. Have a great one.